Hey, good evening, folks. Here's my brand new Smith & Wesson 357 revolver. It's a model 686 of the 357 series. Kind of a nice gun. It's not a performance center gun, but it's kind of special. Special 686, I guess. It has the wood grips instead of the rubber grips. It also has no fluting on the cylinder here. It's a very cool looking gun. I saw it at the store and decided to pick it up because of how it looks. It's pretty sweet. Anyway, I went to the range today, kind of played around and had a couple buddies there too. And what I found was it does not seem to be functioning quite properly. Not like any other revolver I've had, Smith & Wesson for that matter. I've shot exactly that much ammunition. This was a new box, and that's how much we've shot. This revolver holds 7 rounds of 357 Magnum, and this right here, just to clarify, is 357 Magnum. And of course, check. If I can get this thing to focus here. Come on. Anyway, I'm reading this here. It says Federal 357 Magnum on the ammunition. All of them are correct. So I am shooting the proper stuff. See the end of that. It's a cool little bullet. Just a hunk of lead with a little bit of copper around it. Anyway, back to the gun. So the problem I was having was I would shoot 1, maybe 2 rounds, and it would jam up without gloves, and then I put gloves on due to a little bit of the recoil. I would like to, anyway, my hand was kind of taking a beating here after about 3 or 4 rounds. Because this stuff's, it's not necessarily super hot, but I was trying to shoot as accurately as possible because I was shooting about 50 yards. Anyway, I was shooting the gun and it seemed to be jamming up. The trigger would lock back, the hammer would fail. I guess what I determined with a buddy watching was the hammer was failing to actuate. It would bounce, but it would not fire the gun. So, did a little checking on the forums. We didn't have service there. I did checking once I got back. We couldn't get to work. I never got 7 rounds off out of 1 cylinder. I could shoot 2, 1, 2, 3, never. I don't think I got more than 4 rounds off ever without it jamming up. And revolvers generally don't jam. They're usually pretty damn reliable. Pretty nice gun. Sights need adjusted a little bit. They're hitting about 4 inches low, 5 inches low at 50 yards it appeared, but that's okay. Anyway, what I've determined was, let's prove the gun's empty here. I do have an empty gun, and this ammunition over here I'm going to set far away over there, just for safety's sake. I don't want to have it in another room, but I want to show you guys that without having to get up. So, empty cylinder. And of course, I always verify. Shooting today, I was, of course, going over the gun to make sure everything looked right, nothing's bent, nothing's wrong there, the barrel looked good. If your gun feels good, it's brand new, it's had, that many rounds to it, whatever was left in that box. Not very many. Anyway, so the problem I'm having, I'm going to try and fire this. I usually don't, but I want to do it for the sake of doing it. And what I did verify when I got back was this lock. That's a common issue, not necessarily common, but it's common enough that that lock gets locked or partially locked and jams the guns up, holds the hammer down or something. There's no flag displayed here. The flag will be displayed right here next to the hammer. And when the first thing I did is I turned it back to unlock, and there was no movement. It's at the detent, the far back detent, and I did click it forward. I can show you that. Watch, I'm gonna fix my gun doing this. So click that forward, you can see that flag pop up there, and it does say locked on it. Click that back, click 90 degrees, and it's unlocked. I did try the unlock first, but it was fully unlocked. It was not halfway engaged. Anyway, so I'm gonna dry fire this. Don't really like doing it, but I'll do it. I don't know. There's rumors out there that it hurts your gun. Probably does over time. Anyway, so there's snap, trigger all the way back. Trigger full reset. Fire. Hammer's working fine. Boom. Look at that. Full reset, full back. Hammer did not come back, did not fire. Cylinder, did it rotate? I didn't see that. I'll look at the replay. Something's not right. So there's a full reset. Boom. Cylinder rotates. Hammer comes down fine. Full reset. Nothing. Look at that. Hammer. I was afraid it wasn't going to happen here on camera, but you guys can see clearly. Hammer did not come back. That's a full reset, finger off the trigger. Boom, all the way back. Nothing. Cylinder rotates. Hammer fucked. So there are definitely failures in revolvers. I bought this thing. There's a partial reset, full reset. Nothing. Full. Boom, it goes. Boom, it goes. Boom, fires. Fires again. Fires again. Hey, look, looks like I got 7 off right here. What was that? Nothing? I saw a little bit of pressure on the trigger, but it felt like a full reset. Click, click. Nothing. Click. Click. Nothing. Again. So there's obviously something wrong with this gun. I'll probably send it back to Smith & Wesson. I just want to document. I could be an asshole. I could go find a good local gunsmith, have them tear it apart, but I don't want to he said, she said, whatever situation. And I also don't want to spend, $150, $200 if that's what it takes to fix whatever the problem is. I'd rather Smith & Wesson take care of it. Since it's a new gun, I just pulled out of the box. I mean, I pulled out of the box about 2 weeks ago when I bought it. I just took it to the range today. First time it's ever been fired. It's not working quite right. So my guess is there's definitely something wrong in there. The forums don't help because not a lot of these revolvers have issues. So I guess I'll probably be, I don't know if I'm the first. I'm probably not the first. I'm sure this happens to somebody else. I'm sure Smith & Wesson will take care of it. They're a fantastic company in my experience. I've owned their revolvers before and they've always been freaking ridiculously reliable. Like I've never once had a misfire. Like even shooting shitty ammunition, it's always gone bang every time. So revolvers tend to be the most reliable gun out there, or pretty much, I mean, as reliable as you're gonna get. I mean, there's obviously mechanical problems. The cylinder may not rotate. You may wear something out there if you're playing, a game where you're spinning your cylinder and slapping it in, and then just whipping the gun. You don't want to do that with these, especially with that cylinder's so heavy. You're just gonna chew up all the fine machining. So I take good care of my stuff. I don't screw around with it. You can make a revolver unreliable if you beat it up, but as long as they're in good condition, like this one should be, they go bang every single time, thousands and thousands of times in a row. So something's wrong with this one. I'm kind of disappointed in it. It has me a little bit nervous. I bought this gun for a very specific reason, and that is, well, I bought it because I like it, and I live here in Colorado. I do a little bit of hiking, not a lot, but when I do go, it'd be nice to have, a 357, which is on the lower end of like grizzly bear protection. It's actually off the charts on the low end. You really want a 44 Magnum if you plan on stopping a bear in 1 or 2 shots in its tracks. But 7 rounds of 357 is better than nothing. It's better than taking a 9mm or something up there, which I don't really plan on buying a gun specifically just for bear. And 44 is not really my cup of tea, I guess. It's not as fun to plink with. I like the fact that you can roll 357 through this. You roll really hot bear loads through it, and it'll take down a bear if well placed, head or neck. Yeah, some of that stuff's doing 1,300, 1,400 feet per second. Also, you can load the 38 special 38 ammunition into this and shoot light loads and just plink all day. Never hurt anything. Not hurt your hand. You can shoot 1,000 rounds of 38 through this thing, and you'll feel great after the end of the day, and you'll gain a lot of experience, and you'll train away some of your flinch and stuff from shooting that heavy loads. And you just pack some heavy heat in there and go chase down bear. Well, not chase them down, but if you ever get chased down by a bear, you got the heavy loads in, and you're also trained not to flinch. So anyway, that's my theory on it. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I do know this gun is not functioning. You saw it there on the camera. Dry firing, I don't like dry firing, but this thing's already jacked. I'd taken it out of the box, and it's still unloaded, of course. And I'd played around with the trigger doing this number here, and it works every time. Single action firing. There you go. works every single time. So I played around with it and just kind of racked it, out of the box, and then I put it away, went out and shot. So it's not like I sat here and dry fired 1,000 times and wrecked the gun, and it's causing problems because of that. I don't abuse it. I mean, you can see, here's the stuff. It's boom, brand new. I mean, this gun's never been cleaned by me. You can see how clean it is. This thing fired a handful of shots. I can count them up here real quick. Grand total number through the gun was 2 or 3 before it misfired or failed to fire. So I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 22 rounds through the gun total right now. 22 rounds of 357, and that's American Eagle. Federal American Eagle is not bad stuff. It's good plinking stuff, and really this would be adequate, I think, for any scenario, unless you're like actually maybe hunting, and even then it might be okay for that if you're hunting small game or something. Yeah, I don't think I would carry this. This particular ammunition is probably not the absolute best you can carry for brown bear. Just a lead cast bullet with a copper jacket. It's good plinking stuff because it keeps that lead fouling off your barrel. At least this is all my opinion. Anyway, cool gun. Doesn't work. That's a Smith & Wesson revolver with the modern lock. The lock may be the problem. It's some internal problem, but I've made sure that it's completely unlocked and it's still causing issues. So I don't know if it's the lock. I don't know if it's some internal deal. I don't know if it has something to do with the trigger. It felt like if I put a little bit of side load on the trigger, either pulled or pushed, it would cause it to misfire repeatedly, one after another, after another, after another. If I pulled straight back, it would only miss. That's when I was pulling perfectly straight back. That's when I get that like 6 or 7 clicks off there when I just showed it here on the video. That's the most I've ever gotten on this gun since I've owned it. You guys are watching. So I don't want to make this video too long. We're already clicking off 12 minutes here, which is plenty enough time for you to hear me ranting. Anyway, I love Smith & Wesson as a company. I think that their guns are cool. Maybe they're not the most tactically effective weapons out there, but they're a hell of a lot of fun to shoot. They're dead accurate. Like, where else do you get windage adjustment? There's that screw on the side of that sight. Windage and elevation on the top. You got windage and elevation on the pistol, and those are super easy to see. Look at that. When you can one-hand, offhand, whatever you want to call it, one hand out 100 yards, put that into single action mode, roll that back, you got a hair trigger, a 1.5 pound trigger, maybe 2, super crisp and clean. Point out there, one hand, roll over the target. As soon as you pass it, click that round off, you'll nail it at 100 yards with a handgun. I mean, it's almost like shooting a rifle. Just how dead accurate it is once you get those sights aligned. So I love shooting. They're a lot of fun, and being a 357 Magnum, it's a hell of a lot of power. It's more power than you're going to find in most semi-autos. So if you're out there hiking, the odds of getting 7 rounds off on a charging bear, usually they charge you like right out of the woods, you're probably going to be bear piled by it. You're going to be shooting point blank. 357 will do the job. It's done the job a lot of times. A lot of guys in Alaska recommend a little bit more, maybe 44 mag, but there are still stories of guys with 357s, officers and people that take down very large animals that are very angry. And this thing will do the job if you place the bullet right. And that's the same even if you had a 500. If you miss with a 500, it does exactly as much damage as missing with a 357. So, shot placement, all that good stuff. I bought the gun as a dual duty. It's cool, it's fun to have. Supposed to be super reliable. That way I would be able to just hike with it, not worry about it. Be able to pull it out 20 years from now, pull it out of my pocket and pull it out of my holster and just smoke a charging bear, theoretically. But it definitely would not do that. I'm glad I took it to the range. I was out in the mountains shooting on public land at a range, and good thing I did not run into any bears. It was a possibility when I was up there in the area, and I did have this in a rifle with me. The rifle was not always in reach. If I was charged by a bear and I had not learned that this gun was a problem, I might have wound up being food. So I'm a little nervous and worried about that, as much as one can be. Anyway, just managed to run another 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to shut this off. You guys think what you want to think. Maybe post a comment or two if you know what the problem is. If you've seen this before, that'd be great. That would point me in the right direction. But at this point, I think I'm just going to, we're already late at night. This is Sunday night. I'll call Smith & Wesson in the morning, see where they want to go with this. They've taken great care of me, other people I know in the past, I've never heard of any real problems. I've never heard of reliability problems with their weapons. We'll see how they handle this. Could be a bad batch, could be just wasn't assembled right, maybe we're missing something in there, maybe something's loose and rolling around in there. Who knows? And then the other thing is I bought it off the shelf at a gun store. They said they had it there for, I asked them how long they'd had it because it was such a cool looking gun. And they said they had about 3 weeks, I think, 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month, not more than a month. So probably was handled by about everybody who walked in there. I don't know if they dropped it. You never know, you know. So could be Smith's fault, could be somebody else's fault. I don't know. I wound up with a dud, and it sucks because I want to mail this thing off and get it fixed and potentially spend more money on it than the $950 out the door that I spent, or whatever the hell this thing cost. I think I paid like $830 or $850 or something like that for the actual gun, plus tax, plus all the bullshit paperwork, transfer, blah blah. Probably box ammo was thrown in there, but yeah, that box ammo I probably out the door with all this right here. We would see for about $950. Price of doing business, I guess, and it sucks that it doesn't work for that kind of money. I kind of expected a little bit more. Anyway, cool gun. Let me know what you think. I'll try to get it fixed, see what's wrong. I really like I wish this had never happened. Now my whole psyche about walking around in bear country with a trusty Smith & Wesson revolver kind of went out the window. I don't know if I could ever trust this thing, because that's a lot of misfires. That's not like, oh, you misfired that cylinder, oh, you can just pull the trigger again because it's a revolver, it'll go bang the next time. No, this one doesn't. This one, you're going to get eaten by a bear, and you're going to wonder why. And the bear's not even going to know you had a gun, because it's not going to go off. So, that sucks. A little disappointing. I guess I'm just going to sign off right here. Thanks for watching.